And now welcome back home. So make we quickly discuss about margins and paddings. Make we see what it be before we start to even the add them to our site. So to better understand margins and paddings, I go first like make we make small changes to our code. Then we go come fit see am by ourselves why we need margins and paddings and how it dey take help our life for here. So I go say make we go this button here. Okay, this div we carry our button class of click here. You can drag. I want carry this button now, cut am. That's Control X. Then I want move am down to the bottom here. After everything wey dey here, now here I want move this button after all the image. So like go just lay down for us, and our eye go dey we go fit the work clean up with am for here. So we go come this div here. Now inside this div, we can say we want make our div get class. So we go come create a class here. So make we add a class. So we say class. Then we'll call this class btn container dash container. All right. So we could just give this class this name, say btn container, and this btn container now him we're going to work with, and then whenever we want to target this button, now this class of btn we're going to work with. So make we work with that class of btn for them. So make we go save them and make we check, say the button day the bottom of our code. You can see the button day the bottom of our code, so of our web page. So make we go back our VS Code, and inside VS Code now, what we go like do now to add some styles or to work with them. So first things first, make we see how margin they behave. So remember, say we don't create class of btn container, so we go just add the class. So we go say dot btn container. This btn container, you go press space, then you go come do curly brace. Once you do that curly brace for there, you come to say you want add the margin where you find. Now, this margin means say the space between the button, make we go back our browser for example, the space between the button and the image here, it go take different. So you see this red button here, this is our red border button where we just created before for the other video. We could constantly say this button now, if we add margin, it go move down. So the best way I go feel say to explain this margin to you, now to make we add a margin to this button. Then when we add this button, we go when we add them to this button, we go see how it they behave, how the margin go they make our own they behave. So make we try add them here. So make we go back our code editor, and inside our code editor, we can say we want add margin. What is that? Margin top dash top. Right. So then you go do colon, and then you go say how much space you want for the margin. So like we say we want 25 pixels. So we go say we want 25 pixels for the top. So if we press save, we go see say the button go move from the top away from our image. So make we try it. Make we go back our browser, and you can see say the button it don't move down small by this amount of space or pixels. If you check out, you go see say that's not how much we do. So now what if say we want make we add margin from the left because it did too close. So make we say we want move am to the left. We feel say okay, we want do margin for the left side of the page. So we'll go back VS Code. For inside VS Code now, we go can say we want make the margin left be 25 pixels also. So we'll say margin dash left. So that's a column. And then we will come say make margin left be 25 pixels. So we'll say 25 pixels, and then we close down with semicolon. Then we press save. Now when we don't press save, you go see say if we can't go back our browser, we go see say the code don't move from the left. The button, the code where we don't write it, don't help us move this button now to the from the left side away or small, even though not just 25. So if we say okay, we want change even this 25 pixels where we use, we want change this 25 pixels to auto. So if I say margin auto, it go can they decide which is the default side where it be. So if I change them now and we go back our browser, you go see say it no even they work. And mind you, we can even do negative direction. What do I mean by negative direction? If we go back our code editor, and then we say we want that margin left, make it be minus 50 pixels, for example. So I go say minus 50 pixels. If I don't say 50 pixels and I save them, we go back preview them. You go see say the button don't move, come off for the screen small by this much minus 50 pixels. So you can see say even if I reduce the screen or anything, it go always stay there, but it go day minus 50 pixels. So we know how we they use our margins. Again, just so you go remember, margin are the space where they around the element, the space where they outside them, where they outside this button. So as we they move like that, now so we go they work with the margins where we need. Now, if they work with margins, it still get better way if you even use with margins. Sometimes you go just like make your margins, make it just they make it write shorthand margins, right? So almost most things they get shorthand. So make you see the shorthand way of writing the same code, and then we go just maybe fine tune them a bit. So we'll come back our code editor. For inside our code editor, we go say we want margin, just margin. The way we do the border, that's so we go do margin, and then we go say okay, this margin now, the way they work, they always work from top. So we'll say from the top we want 25 pixels. From the right, we'll say we want 0 pixels. Now this 0 pixels now, 0 pixels or 0, we'll say from the right we want 0. Then after that, we can say from the bottom, say we want 0 also. So we'll say 0 and then give a space. And then you will say from the left, you want minus 50 pixels. So we'll say minus 50 px, right? And this minus 50 pixels will come go back our browser, make we see and say, okay, our code supposed to be the same. But first, make we just comment this out. So I go highlight this code right here, these two. Then we could just press Ctrl and / to comment this code out, then press save. Once we press save, we'll go back to our browser and we can see say the code is still they behave exactly the same as what we get for here. So make we just quickly convert that margin minus 50 pixels for our code editor and this comment. A lot of times you're going to see me they use the shorthand version of this also. We could do like this our button shorthand also. So we could just say 25 pixels on every side, because if we do them like this margin 25 pixels, it will give us 25 pixels for every side of our button. So if we go here, we go to say now 25 pixels we get for here, and if we go our code, everything they shorthand as 25 pixels. But for now, that's all we need to learn. I will see you now for the next video. Thank you.